Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hiker Sessions from my AT northbound through hike of 2024. And today we're joined by Pilgrim. Pilgrim and I hiked a considerable amount together, especially through the Shenandoahs and Virginia, and we suffered in the heat together. Pilgrim, I'm happy to have you here doing this. How you been doing post-hike?
Well, I'm trying to adjust to being a citizen again.
Yeah, how's that? How do you feel? I know I've talked to a lot of the other people we've hiked with. Like, how's that been for you? Has it been unsettling or?
No, not really. I had to start to take care of my gear and get that ready to go into storage until the next adventure. Uh, uh, Trying to figure out how much I actually spent on the trail. Let's see. Having to make sure that my budget book is caught up to date. Doing a few things around the house because we're going to be selling it and moving to North Carolina. I'll get to see Randy and Busted because they're both from North Carolina. I'll do some traveling there. What else? Gonna start to doing a lot of just relaxing and eating ice cream and trying to put back on weight. Let's see what else. Starting in December, I'll start working out again. I gave myself, it was a month ago yesterday that you and I were up on Katahdin. And so I'm going to start exercising again. And I think I put on all the weight that I lost.
How much weight did you lose?
I think it was about 12 or 14 pounds.
Okay, well that's considerable percentage for you, I think, right?
Well, yeah, seeing that I'm only at 134, so I didn't have much to lose. Anyways.
Yeah. How's your, you mentioned hiking again. I know it's taken me a little bit. Like, do you have, and we'll get into your accident there for your big injury, but other than that, which we'll talk about, what, how is the rest of your body fared?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah. I've got on my left baby finger, every once in a while it locks up. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
I can. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And my left knee sometimes will lock up if I'm squatting, and I have to try to straighten that out. But that was happening on the trail as well.
Yeah, we all have those. You mentioned cost. That was one of the things I was going to ask. It sounds like you're still calculating, or do you have a rough idea of what you spent?
Well, I have the rough idea.
Yeah.
On the trail itself, it was almost $6,400 just on the trail. I had about $387 just prior to the trip. My flight down, my shuttle to get to Amicalola, my fuel canister. And that was a total of $6,755. But then if I add in the cost of gear and clothing, it brings it up to $10,176.75.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what I'm in the process. I'm actually going to do a video myself and just go through it. Where did you find the most of your expense was? Have you broken it down or got an idea?
I haven't broken it down yet, but I would say food and hostels and motels.
Yeah,
those would be the two, and I think food would probably be the highest. Yeah,
mine was too. I think that's probably. Unless, you and I, we spent a lot of nights in tents for the most part. And I think a lot of people do, but so I'm not surprised food was the highest for you and I. Mm-hmm. So you and I started on the same day, April 9th. And then you had to go home for a while. Can you just tell that story real quick, just for the people who don't know it, of what happened to you on the trail?
Sure. I had made it down to Pinkham Notch, and I was going over Wildcat. And on my way down to Wildcat, about 7/10 of a mile from Carter Dome Hut, I fell face first. It was a steep decline. I fell face first and landed on my left side, resulting in the fracture of 2 ribs, numbers 8 and 9. So that got me off the trail for about 4.5 weeks, and then I got back on the trail. And 4 days after that, I was going through Mahoosuc Notch, and I fell again face first, and bruised, injured ribs or the intercostal muscles. Thank God for pharmaceuticals, Tylenol, and that helped me to get through the rest of the trip, all the way up to Katahdin. So,
wow, I told you in person, because we hiked a little bit at the end there, as you mentioned before. I was proud of you, because I don't know if I could have gone home for that long. I think, did you find it tough going back after being at home for like a month, or were you just itching to go the whole time?
Oh, I was just itching. You know, it was. It's really, really strange. I fell more times just getting up to the starting point, and throughout I think it was about 24 days to Katahdin, but I fell more from getting back on the trail than I did the previous 1,800 plus miles.
Wow. Is it maybe just being off the trail for that long maybe got you out of practice or whatever? Or,
I don't know, but...
Wow. No, that's awesome. Now, you mentioned something about maybe another adventure, next adventure. Do you have anything like in mind or anything on your radar?
I'm thinking of possibly doing the Pacific Crest Trail. But I've got to research that. One of my weaknesses is logistics. And I know that I'll probably have to send, boxes of food to certain places. And once I get that down pretty good in terms of how to do it, then I think I'll be all set. Because I think, as we've spoken about, I mean, the hike is, 400 miles more, but you can do it in the same amount of time because the terrain is not like the trail. I've got a nickname for the Appalachian Trail, Rocks and Roots.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, no, that's what I've heard, and we'll talk offline, because I did have some good success on the Appalachian Trail doing the mail drops. What about your diet? I mean, I pretty much know what you ate, but did your diet change much on the AT, or did you eat pretty much the same thing the whole way? And if you did, what was kind of like your core food? Not when you go into town or whatever, but what was your core trail diet?
Well, I still enjoy ramen.
That was still today?
Not today.
Okay. Okay.
one ramen left from the trail, but ramen was dinner. Ramen with mashed potatoes, and sometimes I'd throw in like maybe bacon bits or pepperoni, for protein. Then I'd have like maybe some M&Ms for a snack, some crackers, peanut butter crackers. Lunch was Spam, as best as I could find the single packets, with peanut butter crackers. And if I couldn't find Spam, then I'd have to go with tuna. Breakfast was the Carnation Breakfast Essentials. Hard to find strawberry. I could get chocolate and vanilla, but strawberry was what I wanted. I had one of those big buns, those honey buns that had 480, or if I really got the jumbo one, I think it was like 590 calories. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, the honey bun, the carnation instant breakfast, and the Belvita blueberry crackers, and that's pretty much it. Stayed the,
Yeah.
you know. I don't need much variety. I eat the same thing, and just had to make adjustments. Like if I couldn't find a Belvita, then what would I substitute that with? But yeah, I was pretty consistent, and I'll probably do the same thing on the Pacific Crest.
Yeah. What did you miss? Was there a food from back at home or a place that you go out to eat or something that you missed? Like, was there anything while you're on the trail that you kind of longed for?
Uh, just maybe pizza and ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I hear you there for sure. What looking back on the trail? Because I know there was a few things for me. Was there anything that like surprised you along the way, like about the trail or just being out there? Like what was anything that comes to mind right off the top of your head that surprised you?
The terrain.
Yeah.
The terrain. I just never expected it to be so challenging. And when I would look, I would say, especially towards the end, when things looked like, oh God, how am I going to do this without getting injured? Either an ascent on a slab or a descent. How am I gonna get through this? And one of the things that I would remind myself was that what, other people have done it, so
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll try to be one of those folks as well, and that usually worked out. I mean, well, it did work out.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's yeah. I think I was. There were no like easy days. It didn't seem. There was always some kind of elevation. What were some of you mentioned the terrain in the train? Like some of your favorite sections or trail towns. Like what are some like areas that stood out to you along the way?
I liked like the Rowan Mountain.
Yep.
Especially because it made me think more about being in the Pacific Crest Trail, or what I conceive of what I'll be envisioning when I'm on the trail. That was just really, really nice. And it was nice terrain.
Yeah.
You didn't have the rocks and the roots.
Yeah. The rocks get you. I mentioned trail towns. I mean, I think we had met up in Damascus. Any other trail towns or towns that you went through or that during the hike that you really liked, or where you stayed?
I like pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
I can't think of any particular one. Maybe the one where they had Cabela's. I got to go to Cabela's and.
Oh yeah, in
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Near Port Clinton.
Yeah.
Yep.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one.
That's where I got a new hat and a new pair of pants. Yeah.
Any like takeaways from your experience? Any things that you like? A lesson I learned out there was this. Anything that you can think of that you thought? I've talked to a lot of people and they say, "Well, when I get back, I'm going to do this different," or
not so much.
Anything you'd have done different on your hike after it was done?
Yeah, I think I probably one of the things that was tough for me was that I never wanted a cell phone, but I said got to get it for pictures and in case there's an emergency. But then family, friends, people from church, they all wanted to follow me, and I'm not good with social media and stuff like that, and the use of the phone. So I did break down, and I said, okay, my sister set it up so that I would only have people that I know on Facebook, not be on Facebook globally. So one of the things that took a lot of time away from socializing with people was trying to put in my daily blog with photos. That just took so much time. And I think if I do the Pacific Crest Trail, I might not, I might not do that.
Yeah.
Just so that I can spend more time with people, because like I said, trying to do the blog just really took time away from being able to socialize.
Yeah, it's interesting. I met a gentleman, a thru hiker. It was his second or third time doing it. I met him at Gooch Gap Shelter the second night on the AT. I'm sure you remember that shelter. And one of the things he said was the second time he did the AT, he didn't take any pictures. And at the time, I thought, wow, that's kind of, too bad you're not taking pictures. But he said he'd taken a bunch the first time. But after listening to what you said and just some thoughts I had post-trail, I get it now, because you can save so much time just taking pictures alone, not having to upload it to Facebook or YouTube or things like that. So I think that's a really good point you make, for sure.
Yeah. And for me, especially towards the end, I would document the AT mileage, the elevation, and the state. And if I had a specific, like if I was taking a picture from a specific location, I would put that in. And that for me, that took some time away, And if I was hiking with someone, they would be ahead, and I'd have to try to catch up to them. And so I
agree. I agree. I think that's a really good point. So we'll finish it up here, because everyone who's maybe aspiring to do the AT or another long section is always worried about gear. So what were maybe like one or two pieces of your gear, whether it's, sleeping bag or spoon or anything, that you were like really, really impressed with and that you really liked? You can do one or as many as you want. Anything there?
All my gear worked. My stove, my sleeping bag, my backpack, my air mattress. Everything seemed to work well. Unfortunately, when I went through Mahoosuc, that did cut up parts of my sleeping. My backpack. I had like these tiny holes at the bottom of my pack. It tore a big hole on my right side where my water bottle is. So.
What kind of pack did you use?
I had a Gosma Gear Mariposa 60.
Okay. Yep. And you liked that. And then what about? Do you remember what you used? What was your tent and sleeping bag? Just a brand.
The tent was a Z-Pack Solo.
Yep.
My sleeping bag was a Thermarest 20, I think it was.
Yep. Nice. And that worked good. Yeah, that's I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of people always wonder what other people do for gear and things like that. So it sounds like you're going to start working out in December, and you're thinking PCT 2025 or 2026, or you want to do it earlier rather than later?
I'd like to do it as early as I can, seeing that I just turned 72.
Wow, yeah, happy belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My wife and I were moving from Massachusetts to North Carolina, and
awesome.
That'll probably happen next summer. So I think probably 2026 might be the time that I might do the Pacific Crest, if there's still a Pacific Crest.
Yeah, I know. This weather, I mean, the AT, what it went through this year and all that, and then the fires and things out west, it's, I think it's going to be tough. They've said that for through hikers to do some of these trails, you may have to just skirt certain areas from now on. I mean, with bridges out and things, then again, the fires. But, well, look, thank you for joining us. That was a great catch up. It's so great to see your face. And I miss all my trail friends. And we will definitely talk again soon. And I got to get you up here to help me with some trail maintenance.
That's right. And I've heard through other friends here that there might be some kids that, young adults in their 20s that might want to help out with trail maintenance. So
we'll take them. They can carry the chainsaws. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.